Alright, so as always, I'm gonna start with the front. Today, I got a chance to drive this little cute mini SUV from Hyundai. Luckily, one of my friends just recently purchased this Hyundai Casper. You know, if you look at it, it's a very compact size mini SUV. I thought Kia Niro was pretty small, but this is even smaller. Alright, so if I give you a brief specification of this car, is a 1.0 gasoline 3-cylinder. So as you can see, this is very mini sized and compact. You know what? In a way, it kinds looks similar with Suzuki. I can't remember. I think it was like Tracker or something, but somewhat it looks similar with the Suzuki. But as you can see, it says Casper. You know, Casper is like a little ghost from a movie that we watched when we were little, right? So yes, take a look at this. It's very small, but looks very cute. You know, I especially like the front. If you look at the headlights and all these lights on the bottom, next to the radiator grill, does it remind you of the Ghost Casper? Look at all these little details. You can look at these headlights and yeah, lights right here too. I think this is just an air hole to cool off the intercooler. If you can see it, you see the radiator, right? And even though this is not really specialized patterns, regular grill, right? But I think it kind of matches the car. You know, not too fancy, not too boring, you know, just simple and plain makes the car even looks more cuter. So I especially like the headlamps and the lights, right? Alright, so I just started the car again to see what it looks like. So on the top, I thought it was a headlamp. Well, obviously it wasn't, but yes, this is for the signal. We have a DRL around the DRL, and in the center we have the headlamp. And again, right next to it, we have an air hole, right? So that's what it looks like. Now, does it look like a Ghost Casper? Alright, well, let's take a look at the rims. Even though this is a small compact size, the rims, it doesn't look that small. Let's take a look. Alright, this is a 205/45 R17. Okay, and on the side we have a passenger door and a rear passenger door, and as you can see right here, we have the door knob, the door handle in the center of the car. And this is how we are very used to open the door, right? The doorknob right in the center, but here the doorknob is placed right next to the window. So yeah, just like Chevrolet Spark, right? We have the doorknob right next to the window. Okay, and it's a two-toned, right? It's all green right here, and then we have the matte black housings right above the rims in the rear and in the front too. And on the side mirror, when you're using the blinkers, there's more lights coming on, so it helps indicating your location when you're switching a lane. I really love how it looks in the front. It's kind of tall, but it's not that long from front to the back. So I think people who are afraid of driving like big cars, right? I think this could be the perfect one. I actually like it. Alright, now I just popped the hood. Let's take a look what it looks like inside. Well, obviously this is a small car, so we don't have like the what you call it, the gas shocks, right? Instead we have to open this manually, but it's okay. Small tiny engine, TGDI. This is a 1.0 turbo inspiration model, 1.0 3-cylinder. Now I'm gonna pop the trunk. All right, It's not really a very big spacious place, but if you recline it, I guess. But my friend has a daughter, so yes, it's kind of like a car seat, you know. It's a place in the rear seat, so I'm not going to really recline it, but I'm going to try to recline the other side. Again, here there's a recline, you know, a lever, the button, so you can simply recline it. Okay, all right. Alright. Alright, so now I'm sitting on a driver's seat, and this is an SUV. So when you're actually sitting in a driver's seat, right, I don't feel that it's a small or uncomfortable. The leg room and everything else is pretty spacious. Okay, so this is what it looks like. The cluster, you know, it has a smart cruise control, you know, LKA, you know, all this stuff. And right in the center, yeah, this is like automatic gear knob that we are very aware of. And we have a drive mode, a traction mode. If you just press it on the cluster, it shows what mode you are on. If you press it one more time, yes, it has a normal mode and sports mode. Go to traction, snow mode, mud, sand. In order for you to switch the mode, you just need to give a little twist. But yes, that's what it looks like. And just put it on a normal. And right in the center, we have the climate control. This is a button type, which I personally prefer because you know, just using the button itself, right? But unfortunately, it doesn't have the feedback. So yeah, you can just physically press it and know exactly what you're doing. But I wish it had a, like, you know, feedback, like a beeping sound. It could have been better. Right in the center, we have a USB port, the charging port. And as you can see, well, this is actually purple, but on the screen it looks kind of blue. So we do have ambient lights. And again, this is an optional, right? So what he purchased is the full option, right? So this navigation, the infotainment was an optional. But if you choose not to purchase the full option, and I think they just give you like a small analog clock right in the middle. And many of the testing cars that we tried, the Hyundai Blue Link wasn't really accessible because it was a testing vehicle. But this is actually owned by my friend, so this is written in Korean, but right here it says a Blue Link. And he briefly showed me what Blue Link looks like, but it tells you like how many kilometers that you can drive, how much, you know, the total mileage you have, and you can even start your car from your smartphone that you have. We have a mirror right here, hi guys, and this is the dash cam. This was all done separately, not by the dealer. My friend has to pay extra money to get this installed. So yes, this is very, very mandatory because you don't know what will happen. Again, this is the passenger seat, you know, same right here. And it does have a sunroof, right? Sorry, well, this video is filmed by myself, so please understand it's not gonna be, you know, as good as you know, how my co-editor Culture did, but I'm trying my best right here. And the steering wheel right here is a D-cut, so when I was actually driving, it was pretty comfortable too. On each side we have all these fancy functions. It's not as fancy as like other, you know, Genesis, Hyundai and Kia, you know, models, but good enough, practical. And it's not like it's missing any options. It does have what is needed. So again, LKA, smart cruise control, you know, the Bluetooth and everything. So yeah, it's pretty good. Alright, so again we're back on the road. Again, I'm driving on a city road just outside, just outskirts of Seoul, right? So the roads are fairly good. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's fairly good. and the suspension is doing exactly what it needs to do. I mean, it's not as comfortable as electronic, suspension, of course. I mean, for example, if I compare this car to like GV70 or something, yes, I mean, it's two different cars, another level. So I wouldn't say, it's not as good as, electronic suspension. But for the price that you are paying for this car, I think suspensions, the Kias and Hyundais are manufacturing these days, they are doing great jobs. Brake is also working really greatly too. And the only thing that I'm really curious or have a question is that, I have never felt about the turbo lag, right? Because this is a 1.0, so I wasn't really punching it, or I wasn't expecting like rapid acceleration. But when you're at the stop, and then when you're putting your foot on the accelerator, when you're pressing on the gas pedal, right, it doesn't give you the immediate response. Maybe it's because it's hot, maybe it's the turbo lag, I don't know, but that's just something that I felt when I'm driving this car. I mean, this car, it's almost brand new. He recently got it, and then his wife or him hardly drives it, so it's a very new. But maybe it's because it's a 3-cylinder. I guess for the people driving in the US, like 3-cylinder, like what the hell, we have a big size engine. But in Korea, small country, and we do have a lot of compact sized car with so much benefits. So yeah, as people who are commuting to work and want to save some money on gasoline, well, many people buy hybrids or electric vehicles these days. But I think also driving a small size engine car like this would be very ideal as well, because yes, you can save a lot of money on paying taxes, parking in the public parking lots, even at the airport, like parking for several days, you only need to have for it. So yeah, why not drive it? Looking at the cluster, it shows me the revolution per minute and the speed, right? But the numbers are really big, so even when you're driving, it's really easy to indicate, it's really easy to identify. Privacy reasons, I'm not really turning on the navigation, but yeah, well, navigation and everything, yes, again, this is an optional, right? This is an optional, and the navigation also works great. And when you are reversing, also it gives you it has a rear view camera, so it shows what's behind you and everything with the alarm. So when you are nearing something, that it will give you a rapid beeping sound as you get closer. This is what the city road looks like in South Korea. It's Friday and there are a lot of cars. I mean, it's 1:19 p.m. and I don't know why there are so many cars, but oh well, that's what it looks like. If you're looking for a car that's under $20 and 20,000 US dollars, and then you need a transportation, you need a vehicle, to pick up your kids from schools and soccer practice or whatever. But I don't think this is an imported model. I think this is only domestic, because I have never seen anyone mentioning about Casper in any other YouTube videos, except Korean YouTuber editors. So I think this is like only domestic models. But I would like to show you that we have something different other than Kia Rio, Kia Ray, something like that.